Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll give the last attendees from the 8:30 a.m. meetings a couple of minutes more to attend. So let's wait 1 to 2 minutes before we dive into the presentation. Thanks for being here, and 1 to 2 minutes will start at 10:02. Thanks. Great. Okay. Now we're ready to get into it. So, the topic of today is virtual inventory and the Help Center. Now, imagine that you are a new user, or maybe you're an experienced user, but you haven't used virtual inventory for a couple of months or in a long time. Now, where do you start? Where was the place that you needed to go to search? How did you create a general request? How did you create a critical request? The answer to all of these questions is the Help Center. This is a one-stop place for all of your questions regarding virtual inventory and how to become more efficient, how to even start, and to not at least save you a lot of headaches. So instead of going around and wondering about how are you supposed to use this service, you can now use the Help Center to get into it. So the reason we think that it's valuable for you to stay with us for the next 20, 25 minutes is because you can save a lot of time by knowing where the help center is and showing your colleagues where to get more info on virtual inventory to save you a lot of headaches, as always, as is the point of virtual inventory in the first place. So, as we know, a lot of you joining us today are more experienced users. We won't go too much into detail on how virtual inventory works, but we just like to reiterate some of the main benefits of the service. So, changing a mindset, striving for efficiency, that's always the goal. And in the oil and gas industry today, it's of course very important to increase the collaboration, to make use of some of the great synergies. But also looking at a broader picture in the world as a whole, we need to collaborate more in order to release more of the synergies. And virtual inventory is one of those tools which can help you to collaborate and in that way work on those very important sustainability goals and goals for the environment. So a lot of your companies have set very ambitious goals for reaching sustainability goals, and virtual inventory is one of those tools which can help you today to help you reach those goals by sharing your inventory, not having to make new ones, for instance, and also, of course, all the while increasing your competitiveness. And increasing competitiveness, this is done by faster lead time and also, of course, mitigating unproductive downtime. So collaboration is, of course, the key, breaking down the silos, and virtual inventory can help you with that. So we'll not go too much into detail on what's in it for me, but we'll show you some more success stories before we dive into the ins and outs of the Help Center. I'll also show you how you can gain 24/7 info and support. We have a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to use the chat or the questions tab if you have any questions regarding VI. And this webinar is being recorded, and the recording is available immediately after the session. So if you'd like to review some info, just hang back a couple of minutes. Or you can watch it later on our YouTube channel, and we'll send you the link, of course. So what's in it for me, or what's in it for you? We have some success stories where virtual inventory has decreased the delivery time by 38 weeks, which of course is a massive amount if you need some equipment soon, and eliminated 16 weeks of downtime by saving 1 billion, around 1 billion NOK at the same time. So we have some great success stories from virtual inventory already, and it's ready to be used. And another real life example was when Aker BP saved around 1 billion NOK. And this was thanks to a successful trade with Equinor, where they experienced a long lead time from a supplier on 116 liners from Alvheim. And the estimated downtime was 16 weeks. And this was mitigated through the virtual inventory request to Equinor. So the question is, how can I do the same? How is this possible? Is it possible for me to achieve the same? Now, the Help Center is here to show you how you can use virtual inventory more efficiently. So allow me to bring up a quick demo on how it works. So moving into virtual inventory, this is the first screen that you will see for the new users. And in the top right corner, you will find the question mark, which leads you to the Help Center, the detailed one, and a shortcut into two of the sections. So starting off, going into the detailed Help Center, you will find the sections Introduction, Administration, and Using Virtual Inventory, as well as the shortcuts to the same sections as behind the question mark, the What's New and the Tutorials. On the Introduction section, you will find more in-depth information. What is virtual inventory and what's the ID behind it, along with a video and some visual representations on how virtual inventory can be of use for your company. We also have the concept of critical with a video and a process flow, so you can show your colleagues a better overview of how to use critical and virtual inventory. So now you can move back to the Help Center and go into the administration section. So here you learn more about the different roles, but also about how to import data, for instance. So regarding the roles, we have an array of roles. The organization administrator is the one who manages the users for your company. The buyer can search for inventory items and send requests. And the seller is the contact person for incoming requests, and also, of course, the ability to process them, which means selling. The critical handler is the one who approves the external CMRs, and also, of course, can process these, all of the CMRs. And perhaps most importantly, right now, is the guest role. By issuing guest roles to your organization, you can give a lot of people search access only. So they can go into the system and they can look up if they see that they are in need of a part, for instance, they can look up if another operator has that in stock. And they can even, of course, look up their own stock, because we have some stories where it was easier to find the inventory in virtual inventory than your own ERP system. So there are many uses of virtual inventory. The data administrator is the one who uploads and downloads inventory, so maintaining that the inventory is up to date, of course. And the system administrator is the one on the Offshore Norge side who oversees the whole system. So that, in this case, would be me. Inventory import, you can show this page to the person who imports inventory, because here you will find an in-depth guide on how to do this. And moving into to the last section here is more guides on how to do things in virtual inventory. And if you have any input on any more sections you would like us to make videos on, or more detailed tutorials, then please feel free to reach out. So yeah, by clicking this, you can find info on basically the topics here. So we have also included a glossary list, which can be quite useful, where you can find some more explanations on the abbreviations which we use in virtual inventory. The What's New section, here you will find development updates and what's new in the virtual inventory, and the tutorials. This is the direct link to the tutorials on YouTube. So by clicking on this, you gain direct access to YouTube. And as you can see, the Onboarding Center playlist here on the Offshore Norge Material Management YouTube channel. And this is available both in English, so this is the English versions, and in Norwegian. And in addition, I would just like to show you the YouTube channel for Offshore Norge Material Management, where you will find more videos and playlists on both EQ Hub and virtual inventory. As you can see, former webinars and former videos. So that was the intro to the Help Center. And I would like to move on to how you can get support from us. So if you can't find the information you're looking for, or if you have any technical issues or any questions at all, really, you can reach our first line defense on support@virtualinventory.no. So feel free to send us an email at any time. And of course, also be in touch with me if you have any questions regarding virtual inventory, of course. So we have moved over to our Q&A session. So please feel free to ask anything in the chat. And we have received one direct question for me. So there was one question, and what is the difference between a critical request and a regular request? So the main difference is, of course, that the critical request is the 911 button. That's the place you want to. That's the button you want to push if you have an immediate production loss. And if you remember from the presentation where we had the red background and the case where Aker BP could have saved around 1 billion NOK. That's the critical material request. So that when after you submit it, it gets sent out to all of the operators collaborating with virtual inventory, and they will give you a reply within a couple of hours, or at most a day or two. And the general request is very much the same as a shopping experience in any web store that you have used before. You can just scroll through virtual inventory, find the items you're searching for, and add them to your shopping cart. You can also write a general request where you send a request to an operator or several operators and just ask them for some inventory that you are looking for. So that was the answer to that question. And I think we are ready to move on to the sum up. So we have some upcoming events already tomorrow. There is an introduction to the new generation of EQ Hub, which is very exciting if you want to learn more about EQ Hub and want to have a glimpse into the future of EQ Hub. So please feel free to register for that at 11 a.m. That's when it starts tomorrow. And next week, we have a webinar on the concept of critical, like the SOS emergency. How do you use critical, and what's the main benefits? And I just quickly wanted to show you how you could easily register for those if you haven't already received an invitation. So then you could navigate to this registration page for this webinar. You can click on View All Events. And by doing so, you will find the upcoming ones. So this is, of course, the one today. So it's a bit late to register for that. But the one for tomorrow is ready for registration, in addition to the one in a week. So without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in today. And would like to become a part of the Collaborate community, just stay tuned with the webinars from Offshore Norge on Virtual Inventory Loop, EQ Hub, and Critical. So thank you so much for tuning in and see you in a later webinar. Bye.